Warning. This podcast contains explicit sexual language and should only be listened to at work if you're looking for an excuse to connect with your HR representative. Additionally, all mentions of the word women include cis and trans women. If you are genderqueer, gender fluid, figuring it out, anything in between, and feel like this conversation is also important for you, you are welcome here.
Will you open up with me? These pages, they can feed your innermost desires. Do you feel inspired? Are you getting what you need? Are you coming curiously? A secret safe with me. And here you can simply be yourself. Sweet romance. Come on in, come on in, come on.
Hi, y'all. This is Jace, she, they, and you found Jace Reads Romance, a community dedicated to empowering women about sex and sexuality through the reading of romance novels. It is 2026, which I'm surprised I said that with a straight face.
Right.
I did.
Right?
I said that with a straight face.
I know.
And not the horror that wants to emerge ectoplasm style from my mouth.
We're 5 days in, and what is going on? That's all I'm going to say.
We're 5 days in. What's happening? I can't function.
All right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
But I'm the weirdo that likes to wrap up things when it's actually done. I know. Some people were posting here are my top reads of 2025 in on December 10th. I'm like, you know that we have 21 days left.
Right?
You don't know what you're going to read.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm talking about 2025, still in 2026. This is my wrap-up episode of my top 10 reads of 2025, and then what's going to happen big picture in 2026 with Jace Reads Romance. If you've been listening for a while, you know that there's some big stuff happening, and I want to just prepare you for it because transparency. I'm going to dive right into it. These are not in order. These are not ranked in how good I think the books are. I just lumped my top 10 together. Okay. These are in the order in which I read them. Okay.
These are just these are your 10 most enjoyed books of 2025.
Exactly. In the order in which I read them.
Okay.
Which is why we're starting with Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. It's not that I think it was the best book.
Right.
And it's not bad. Again, it's in my top 10. It's just the first of these books that I finished in 2025. Now, my reason, I do love Ali. I love her as a person. I love her writing. But specifically the reason why I like this book is because it captured that feeling of how do I explore kink as a new adult with another inexperienced partner?
Okay.
And are there things that I wish were different if they were maybe a little more formal? Absolutely. I would love to see, in general in kink, I like to see more planning of scenes, more actual scenes than this is what I like and this is what I don't like. And we just kind of do our own thing. However, honestly, from my experience, that's how I started to play with kink. I had a partner and we expressed what we liked and what we didn't and what we kind of wanted to try, because for me, kink and sex are linked. I've never explored kink without intimacy, which, if you don't know, kink and intimacy, not necessarily linked at all.
Right.
For some it is, for some it's not. And so for me, this really resonated with my own experience of trying on aspects of kink with a partner. And because they're that new adult, they're college and not adults where, you know, you probably could access other things. It felt real to me. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And probably it's also why I had at first a moment with it, because looking back on my own experiences, I was like, that's not really how you kink properly. Yeah. And I know that now, but I only know that because I did it that way.
Right.
But so that's part of the reason why I like her writing. Mm-hmm. I like her writing style. She and I jive. And it's one of those things where like part of me feels a little basic for being like Ali Hazelwood, because so many people who are basic like her, but she's so good. Like she's just really, she is an author that to me is worth the hype. And so I don't mind it. I also like that as an author, she's getting to spread her wings a little more, because she's known for her STEMinist cute shit. She comes from AO3, friends.
She comes from
one of her
favorite
fiction. Things. Yeah, she comes from fan fiction. She's like hardcore lemons, limes. Like this is, I want her to go the distance. I want a book published by Ali Hazelwood that people on AO3 would be like, wow, that's a lot. I want that for her.
I'll be honest, as someone who is published on AO3, that's going to take a lot.
I'm sure it will. But like, it's I think where she came from. And so I want that traditionally published.
Yeah.
If Split or Swallow can be traditionally published, you can give Ali Hazelwood permission to let her freak flag fly.
Okay? 100%. Oh yeah. Well, and I'm just gonna go back to the basic comment. Like there's a reason it's basic. There's a reason it's liked so much, because it's good. Like, you know what I mean? Just because they use the term basic as a put down or as something bad, and I don't like that. If you like something that people term basic, good for you. Like it. Own it. It's something you enjoy. Who cares?
I like pumpkin spice. I love a pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin spice.
I like Ugg boots. Oh my God, I love Ugg boots.
And you know what? Go for it. I don't like them because I don't like that kind of shoe, but that's me. I just don't like that kind of shoe.
I mean, they're ugly as shit, which is why I only own ridiculous looking Uggs. I have a pair of Uggs that is reversible sequin.
That's amazing. I actually really love that.
Pink.
I love that so much.
People who wear brown Uggs, no. I want ridiculous Uggs.
I love it.
I want someone to look at my feet and go, shit. Like, that's the way I want my Uggs. Book number 2. I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com by Kimberly Lemming. Of course, Kimberly Lemming is on this list.
I was going to say, if Kimberly Lemming wasn't on this list, I was going to be disappointed in you.
Kimberly Lemming can do no wrong. She can do no wrong, friends. I recommended her books to multiple family members over the holidays, and I have no regrets.
I love that.
No regrets. When they come back at me and are like, what are you doing? No regrets.
No regrets.
I loved this because Mead's Mishaps was indie and then picked up by Trad. Mm-hmm. This is pure Trad. This isn't even like small publisher Trad. This is Berkeley, bitch. And it is so anti-capitalist, like anti-racist, pro-education, like
Yes.
absolutely slam. Like it slays so hard.
Yes.
And was just one of the most enjoyable reads that I had this year. And it is slated to be a 3-book series. The next one, I believe, is I got like seduced by an alien and now we're in couples therapy or something like that. I will put the correct title in the show notes.
Yes.
But it really was just perfection. And I have no notes about, like, that book is so unhinged in the best way, and I have no notes about it at all.
I loved getting your reactions to her books every time because like your reactions to her books are so great.
Like, even her Amazon novella,
Yes.
My Boyfriend is a Demon. Like, the unhinged shit in that book, in that tiny ass novella. Just give her a couple hundred pages, friends, and she will take you there. She will take you there. My personal wish for the book would have been for it to be MMF instead of MFM, but like that's my opinion, and that's just because MMF is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like that's the old, but do I understand why it wasn't? Absolutely.
I love it.
Oh God, I just can't, like, she's so good. She's so good. And I think I love that this is like aliens. I love the aliens. I love all of it. Number 3, and I'm putting these together.
Okay.
Is everything I read by Kennedy Ryan.
Just all of it. All of it.
Just the 2 standouts for me were Real, whose sequel score comes out this year. I can say this year. It is 2026.
It is 2026.
And Can't Get Enough, which was the final Skyland book. It's Hendrix's story.
Okay.
I thought those 2 books were just unbelievable perfection. I think I was a little too apprehensive for the second book in the Skyland series, This Could Be Us, because of how hard Before I Let Go destroyed me, that I was just waiting that whole book for something terrible to happen, and it doesn't. And so I felt a lot more secure going into Hendrix's book. But I also loved Hendrix so much.
Yeah.
Real was... It just felt like an incredibly grounded story of love and partnership. Both of them. I will say that both of them are celebrations of Black women being loved unapologetically by men who don't hold back.
Which I love so much.
I loved it so much. And they're very different scenarios. With Real, you've got some boss employee because it's a director and actress. You've got a bit of an age gap. You've got some health crises of the FMC. There's like work stuff going around. There's a lot happening. But those 2, once they actually admit their feelings for each other, they're done. They're solid. They are in relationship mode. And very similarly with Hendrix and Mav, I think his name is Maverick. Hold on. I need to know who my book boyfriend. He's my book husband, by the way. Like, you don't date him. You marry him. It is Maverick. I love him. He is a book husband. And again, like, the health stuff is with Hendrix's mom, and so they're supporting through crises. There's both of them dealing with big business decisions that they have. It was again like, and Hendrix, my only problem with the Hendrix Mav moment was she said no, and he's like, but you're mine. And I wish that he'd backed off a little bit so that Hendrix could have come to him. But I also understand that in their dynamic, what she needed was for him to be serious about her.
Yeah.
And show that this was really that this was
Right.
real for him.
Right.
So I've mentioned it, her prose are just incredible. Just the way that she writes is stunning. And I listened to Real as an audiobook and it was phenomenal. I
Ooh.
read Can't Get Enough, also phenomenal.
So it translates both ways. So
it
that's really
translates.
good.
And I will give you that. The production of Real, the narrators they got were just top notch.
Was it a full
duet.
cast? I was just going to ask.
No, it wasn't
cast?
duet. No.
Duet.
It was technically, I would put it as dual, but there were 3 narrators because Real contains Neva, the FMC's POV chapters, and Canon, the MMC POV chapters, and then scenes from the movie they're making about Desi Blue. And so they got 3 narrators, one to do Neva's chapters, Canon's chapters, and then be Desi Blue.
Okay.
And I thought that was so great.
That's actually really brilliant to keep the movie scenes separate from the actual story. That's really smart.
Even though they, thematically linked up and that's why the scenes were where they were,
right?
Having that separation was really great. I just applaud that. Whoever made the decision to have the 3 narrators instead of just 2, it was a great decision.
That was very
okay.
sweet.
Number 4, this is going to surprise some people maybe. I loved Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tooley. I love her and I loved it. Not everyone loved it as much as me. And I will say it's not just because of the forearms, friends. Like this is a forearms book. Like if you love forearms, but you felt like Lights Out was too dark for you, you need a rom-com. One of the promotional tropes of this book was forearms.
Yes.
And she is obsessed. She is obsessed with the forearms.
Yes. This is also a name I would have been surprised if it had not been on your top 10 list, Nisha.
It's my only book of hers that I've read this year, but it is superb. Yeah. And it's her first contemporary rom-com. Everything else of hers that I've read and that she's published has been fantasy. And one of the reasons why I really liked this is it didn't feel formulaic in a lot of ways. We have Tris, who is a woman of color in a predominantly male space, in a predominantly white space, professionally, who is dealing with her own crisis of faith and like, oh, I'm not appreciated. I'm being passed over. I'm jealous of this kind of Nepo baby Rafe, who seems to be given all the promotions, all the things that like she has earned through hard work, except she's so hot for him. And what I really enjoyed about this book is, unlike so many others where it becomes kind of like a workplace rivalry, who's going to be the best.
Right.
What we learn about Rafe, this human, is what his passions are and how trapped he feels in this role of Nepo baby. And that what they bring out of each other at the end of this book is the ability to stand up for what they want and know the value that they bring to with those skills.
I love that.
And they're super hot for each other.
Of course.
and that's just fun. It's just fun. It was just like a fun Hawaiian romp of, I just loved it. And I think back in it, I think she's great. I
know you love Nisha.
I do. I love the Nishas.
Yeah.
I love the Nishas. Book number 5 is a YA book. And Seffi's going to be like, I know what book this is. It is Legendborn. Yes, it is. No qualms about it. Like, you can't have a list in a year where you've read Legendborn and not have it be one of your top books. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
The complexity of this world and this retelling I think that there are so many adult fantasies that can't touch it, can't come close to the world that she has decided to build. And I am full transparency. I am not going to keep reading this series until the 4th one comes out because I need to binge it.
Yeah.
I need to binge it. I need to go. I'm going to reread Legendborn and I'm just going to go book to book to book. Yeah. So if you're wondering like, ooh, when are we going to see? You're not going to see me read Bloodmarked or Oathbound until book 4 is out.
Yeah.
Just, it's not happening. I can't do that to myself. And Tracy Deonn doesn't pull punches when it comes to the experience of misogyny and racism here in America. She does not pull punches. And it is hard to read. It was hard for me to read as a white person, and not like white guilt or anything, but like minority identification. Like I was like, oh, that is so real and awful in ways that I can relate to, and also ways that I've never thought about in some aspects. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a person of color in a predominantly white space. Cause I reflect the sun back. Tracy Deonn needs more accolades. She needs more accolades, awards, clout, hype, because from people I know who have continued to read the series, and y'all are brave. I understand it. I understand why you continue to read the series actively while waiting, a year and a half to get the next book. But so brave. Because like even the cliffhanger that we were left with from Legendborn, it was like info dump, but not info dump. It was like reveal cliffhanger, and I was shook. I closed that book.
Oh man. Here's the thing.
It
doesn't matter. Like, even if it's like a romance genre, doesn't matter if it's young adult or whatever. If they have a good world, if they have a good story, if they have good character development, if you are able to get lost in that story and that experience, doesn't matter what level it's written at, really. One of my favorite series is a young adult series. And
Which one?
It's Percy Jackson. It's the Percy Jackson.
Right.
It's the Percy Jackson series. I could reread that. I love it. I could reread it over and over and over again because it's so well written. It covers mythology really, really well. And the characters, I love the characters so much. And it, like, I'm immersed in the world.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Ugh. It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to matter.
No.
Like, YA doesn't mean bad. No. Adult doesn't mean good.
Nope.
And I challenge you to read Legendborn and not feel things. Like big things.
Yeah.
I loved it. Number 6, and I'm just putting it as the series so far. All Superheroes, the like Supers in the City series by Elizabeth Stevens.
I was waiting.
It was the Supers in the City series by Elizabeth Stevens, which is All Superheroes Need PR and All Superheroes Need Photo Ops. The 3rd book has been picked up. It's gonna happen. I'm so happy. Like, Jesus fuck, those books are so good.
I know.
Like, I read the first book and I was like, wow, 5 stars. And then I read the second book and I was like, I think this is 6. I read the second book and I'm like, I think this is 6 stars. And they have to be read in order. You do have to read them in order, even though they're separate couples. But Elizabeth Stevens took 2 basic ideas. Aliens came from another planet. We have superheroes. And then went, but what if I fuck shit up? And like before the twist of the first book, I loved it. I loved it even before the twist. I was obsessed with these characters. Roland is a touch her and die. Nessa is a horribly awkward woman who like finally finds inner strength by like loving herself and being comfortable. And he is obsessed with her. Like he's like, the first things we hear him say are like, well, I'm gonna marry her. And you're like, what, sir?
I
You met her? Like, you met her like 10 minutes ago. Like they go to dinner, he's like, so we're getting married. She's like, what are you talking about? We're not getting married. Well, okay, how many dinners do I have to take you to in order to get married? He's like, 20. Great. 20 dinners. I'm like,
20 dinners. Let's go. The countdown starts now.
like 40-year-old virgin, but like for marriage instead of sex. And that was just hysterical.
Oh my God.
And then the second book like takes it up a notch in intensity between these two characters. There's like kink and like, I'm actually a villain, but I'll be a hero for you. Like both Roland and Darius have that, but Darius is like, nah, I'm like straight up a villain, but I'll be good to her. And what he does is, did I tell you this? During sex, like slams down a marriage license and is like, sign
in the
it.
middle of sex?
Oh God, he's got her bent over a desk and he's like, sign her new contract and then sign this as a marriage license.
Oh my God!
He's got his dick in her pussy and his in her ass. It's so great.
Oh my God. I love that so much.
It was so like, and it's so him, but like that series has brought me so much joy.
I know it has.
And I will continue to sing about it from the rooftops. Like when the third book comes out, like, you know, I am going to be like hyped up because I need to know what happens to like Lam Lam. I need to know.
I know.
She's been kidnapped by the Marduk. Like, what's going to happen? Does he get redeemed? I don't know. It's where we are. This is going to surprise people, I think. The next book that really blew my socks off was Crash Test by Amy James. This was a queer F1 story, Travis and Jacob. And I think the reason it's going to be so surprising for most people is because they're not together most of the book. But that's part of the reason why I loved it. This book is about healing from a fuck up. And that both of these two humans, I just looked up their names. Travis and Jacob.
I was like, you just said
Travis and Jacob. I just said them. Travis and Jacob have a secret relationship at the beginning of this. Like, they're not out. They're not public. And there's a big crash. There's family drama. And they break up.
Yeah.
And then there's both of them healing from their relationship, and one of them also like physically healing from this crash, and mentally. So there's a lot of therapy. There's like, how do I make myself a whole person?
Yeah.
How do I, go after what I want? How do I accept myself? How do I build community around me instead of isolating? And then they come together again, healed and ready. And I also really liked the way the book was structured with the first chunk being one point of view, the second chunk being the other point of view, and then the third chunk going back and forth. I thought it was just incredibly well done. This is a hard book. It starts off with a almost fatal car crash,
right,
and a breakup,
right. It's like a second act breakup almost. Like it's not.
No, it's first act breakup.
Yeah.
But like there was just something about the humanity of both of their journeys that hit me really hard in the feels.
Yeah.
And a book that can take me along when they're not together. They're not even flirting. They're broken up.
Right.
And I am so invested in their story.
Yeah.
I have to give it accolades. I just have to.
Well, that's not what you normally see in a romance. You don't normally see the apart normally, like a lot of the time. Most of the time. Yeah. You normally see the journey to get together. But I think what I love about that is that it highlights the importance of growing as a singular person and how important that is to make sure you are prioritized in your physical, mental, emotional health before you are confident enough to be part of a relationship, partnership, whatever.
Yeah. And because we start with this breakup, we're not wondering, like, it's a second chance. Mm-hmm. But we're not wondering, oh, what did you do? We know what they did.
Right.
And what we watch is both of them coming to terms with the fact that they were not good partners in this relationship. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Both of them. Was one a bigger asshole than the other? Yes. But the other one still wasn't a good partner. Mm-hmm. And I think that this, in a romance setting, not a fiction setting, is really hard to do to make you still root for them. When you start with a breakup, how do you root for the couple to get together in the end? Yeah. And this showed, I 100% supported this second chance because of what I saw them doing for themselves. Yeah. And then also for the other, like the pining that they had for each other, that was in the background of all the growth. And it was so good. It was so good.
It's because she made you love the characters themselves and love the growth that they had for themselves that made you want them to find the happiness with each other, I think.
Yeah. And I think because we had these big chunks of growth and growth, mm-hmm. The whole thing worked really well. And I applaud her. It was unique. It made me feel things that I don't normally feel for these kinds of stories. And so I have to give the accolades where they are deserved. Book number 8. It's all of the adult series so far by Adib Khorram, but specifically the book, it had to be him. Specifically the second book in this series is the one that really, I loved the first book in the series. I did. Mm-hmm. We made a whole podcast about it. Yeah. The second book I liked even more.
Yeah, I remember.
And it had the humor, it had the insecurities, it had the romance, it had the like outside drama, it had the internal drama. It was like almost everything I liked, except for the fact that the scene that they did, which I get why it happened. Again, and this goes back to Ali Hazelwood. When you are two people who've never really kinked before, how do you kink incorrectly? Like, the answer. No, incorrectly is the answer.
It's absolutely the answer. Yeah.
That's the answer. And so, like, while I wish in my kinky heart that the scene they did in the bathroom was discussed at a bigger length,
Right.
what happened in the moment was spectacular.
Mhm.
Like, the fantasy had been expressed, the limits had been expressed, there were check-ins throughout. Noah had notes on his arm to like be a good top in the moment and like a checklist and stuff.
Fucking
It was
adorable
so
as
cute.
shit.
It was so cute. And but like you also could have been like, can you be on your knees on a tiled floor in our like 30s, mid to late 30s kind of situation? Because not everyone can. Like,
No,
are you
yeah.
okay with swallowing? Like, some of those details would have been worked out in a true negotiation, but
Right.
there was so much checking in the moment
Right.
that it was a beautiful scene. Like, when I was reading it, I was like, this is so amazing. Noah and Ramin, you're so beautiful and you're giving each other this wonderful And then as I was like digesting it later, I thought, but that's from like me as an educated kinkster, not
Yeah.
Ramin, who's never done it but kind of expressed an interest in it and
Right.
shared this fantasy, and Noah, who went on the internet and was like, how do I do this? Like, it was great. It was
Right.
great for that.
Right.
My hope is if we ever get like an epilogue, is that they do a real scene.
Right. They've
You know,
become
that they
more
get there.
educated. They've learned a little bit more.
Yes.
They've expanded their
Yes.
knowledge and how to negotiate a scene and how to work it all out beforehand and then go into the scene itself. Absolutely.
And so
agree with
I had the same thing with Allie Hazelwood of
Yeah.
like, oh, like I'm reading it and then I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, no, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
this is how it would happen.
Absolutely.
And the fact, it's just such a cute moment. And Adib talks about prepping for anal sex
Mhm.
in a way that is still sexy. It keeps the flow going. And you have to. It's so funny because Heated Rivalry. Duh. Of course, we're going to mention Heated Rivalry.
Right.
Of course.
Of course.
But one of the things that some people are like, it doesn't talk about prepping. And the creator, who is a gay man, was like, I'm not going to talk about that in this medium. You could, and apparently
Suspend
Rachel
your disbelief. Suspend your
but
disbelief.
Rachel mentions it in the book. It's mentioned in the books, apparently. Like, but that's also the thing about movies, is the pace of a film is very different.
Very
than
different.
the pace of a book is very different than the pace of real sex.
Yeah.
And we know that, like, ranting about Heated Rivalry, Shane is
Canonically.
Thank you. Shane is canonically autistic and very precise, has a dildo that he fucks himself with. You think he doesn't prep?
Right?
You think that man doesn't prep? Friends. The man who prefers to be the hole than the peg absolutely preps.
100%. He preps.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We're not worried about it.
No.
Anyway. So it had to be him, Adib Khorram. I also love Adib Khorram as a person, as an author. He is amazing. I don't know. I don't love YA all the time. So I'm not necessarily going to go back and reread his back catalog, even though it is very well respected in the YA sphere.
Yeah.
But I am obsessed with what he's doing in the adult sphere now that he's in it.
Yes.
And he's going back and forth. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm only adult now. He goes back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. Okay. That was number 8. Number 9 and 10 are slightly different. So number 9 is the After the End Kickstarter.
Okay.
And then there are a number of reasons. Did I like every story? No, I did not.
Right.
But what I loved about this and what made me so happy to read every single one of these stories, and I have, is the intention behind how this was made. That A Squared, Adriana Herrera, well, it's technically AH Squared, Adriana Herrera and Ali Hazelwood put so much thought into this, that this is a little bit of a fuck you to the trad system that they're both part of. Adriana's more hybrid than Ali is. That what they gave to the authors, every author who was a part of this had nothing but good things to say about the process, about the expectations, about the support that they were given behind the scenes, that AH Squared set up for them, that this was a go big, no one's going home, like, kind of situation.
I love that so much.
Like, and as I said, did I resonate with every story? No. Did I like somewhat better than the others? Absolutely. Did I meet some new authors? Yes. But overall, I think what this represented as an idea, and then obviously the response, it was like the biggest book Kickstarter of 2025, like over 1 million. What was it, like 1 million something?
It was huge.
I remember over 1 million.
Like, I remember it kicked off a day we were recording, and you had live updates, and you were telling me as you were recording, and I just couldn't believe how fast it was, like, hitting milestones, even as we were recording. And we only record for like an hour or two at a time.
I know.
So it was insane.
And that's it. Like, what I loved about it is it was hard data proof of what consumers of romance are looking for and what we want to support with our authors. And so I have to give so much credit
100%
to that project.
Yeah. Yeah. And refresh my memory. It was all stories that were like post-apocalyptic, right?
Post-apocalyptic. I think the prompt was what happens when you leave the bunker.
Okay.
Like, what happened? Like, you leave or like, what's going on in the bunker or something like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which was, and some people like went very literal and some people didn't. And there were some stories that had very similar themes and some stories that were completely different, things that I've never seen from some of these authors and things that I expected to see from some of these authors. And they brought in, Adriana Herrera is an author of color. She is also writes primarily queer. I believe she is also queer. Ali is not, but they brought in mostly diverse authors to this project.
I love that.
So like Adriana, Nikki Payne, Elizabeth Stevens, Sherry Thomas, and Nina Saxena. So 5 out of the 8 authors of color.
Nice. I love that.
Yes. And like, it was really interesting. Like, how did people resolve things, and what does your bunker look like? And, versus someone else's bunker, what was the intention of your bunker? How many years has it been? That kind of thing. And it was just fascinating to see everyone who are doing things. And they brought in authors that are both from trad and from indie. So it wasn't just one
or the other
space that they were bringing people in from. Exactly. They were bringing in people they wanted to work with. So it was really also for them a celebration of who's out there. And I believe they're launching 2 different projects in 2026. One of them is historical romance, to prove that historical isn't dead, friends, because it's not.
Because it's not.
Yeah, because it's not. And I don't know if they've announced what the second project is.
That's exciting.
I'm over the moon.
And you know what? Trad needs to sit up and take notice.
They do. They need to sit up and take notice and like handle things a little bit differently. But what else is new? And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Kate Daniels series.
I was
Ilona
going to say,
Andrews.
I'm like, where's
It
Kate
is. I have to
Daniels?
mention it. I have to mention it. I read every single thing listed
Mhm.
in the Kate Daniels release schedule
Yes,
on
you
their
did.
website. Every
Which-
single one of it.
Kudos to you, because that's not a small list.
It is 13 books and a lot of novellas and
Yeah.
short stories.
Yeah.
Um, I have to give so many kudos to Ilona Andrews, who have been around for years writing this series. As I mentioned in these last couple wrap-ups, I don't know why they switched from trad to indie with Kate Daniels, because they still do trad published works.
Okay.
And they launched a new series recently through trad. There's another one coming out in March, I believe. So I don't know why Kate Daniels went from trad to indie. I also don't know where the series is going. I'm very confused. I'm just unsure. I have been left unsure by the entire thing. However, Kate and Curran and this type of a series is a series you don't see anymore. It is an
Yeah.
open-ended series about a couple that you follow. And
Yeah.
that's not what traditional publishers are buying anymore. They want
No.
you to have an end date. They want you to have a this or a that. You don't get series like this. You don't get series like Laurel K. Hamilton. They are all different and the world is different.
Or Diana
And so-
Gabaldon with the Outlander series.
With Outlander. I mean, like, I don't know if she said, hey, this is going to be a 7-series book or a 7-book series. Sorry,
Yeah.
let me say that again. I don't know if when she pitched it, she knew it was going to be a 7-book series, because
Right.
again, that is a completed series.
It is,
But
yeah.
it's not open-ended. Even so this year I am committing to, people are gonna, I feel like, maybe get really mad about this, but too bad. I am doing a Nalini Singh series, but not Side Changeling. I'm doing the Guild Hunters because I like vampires.
What?
Uh,
You
angels.
like vampires? What?
I thought, like, how could you not do Side Changeling? Oh my God. She's still releasing Guild Hunter novels.
Right.
She's still doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that I'm going to do this year. I'm committing to the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh. I read the first book in 2024 and I really liked it.
Okay.
So that's the one I'm going to commit to. That's why we're doing Black Dagger Brotherhood in 2026.
2027 or 2027.
Oh, 2027, because now it's 2026. Yeah, 2027, Black Dagger. It's why we're doing the Black Dagger Brotherhood in 2027.
Okay.
So that is starting. And like Kate Daniels, man, it's a slow burn that was worth it. Their banter is great. I wasn't always sure that their relationship would come out of it intact. I had serious worry. And unlike Anita Blake, where the worry comes from, are they gonna die? Is their relationship gonna make it? Like,
oh, yeah, those are
truly.
two completely different worries.
These are two completely different worries. So with Anita Blake, you're like, they might die this time. And then with Ilona Andrews, I was like, they might break up this time. Like, they might break up for real. So it was a very different experience. And I will, again, that caveat of everything that changed when they went indie with it, when they self-published
Right.
the last bit of it and all the time jumps and everything. So I don't know if they just decided we're not done with the series and we want to keep writing stuff for it. And Trad was like, but you finished it. Like, we had a big wrap up and we're good.
And that may be the case.
That might be the case. It's totally fine. But that is my final top 10 in 2025. Final top 10 from 2025. I'm just looking at the time. I know. I'm checking the time of how long we've been recording. What a surprise.
It's because you've had to get used to it because I haven't been here for the last couple of times you've been recording.
I didn't realize. It was so funny because I am usually so on point for my wrap-ups with you, and Michael was just like, I'm here for the vibes and just let me talk. And also I wasn't as prepared. It was just so funny. I was like, oh, we've been getting our wrap-ups done in like 50 minutes, and Michael and I were on for like an hour and a half.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, Michael, you know you're editing this. Like,
it just all goes to shit when Steffi's not here. Just gotta admit. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. No, yes. So 2026.
Whoa. I mean, it might be a better year than this one. Who knows?
Got it. Oh my gosh. For 2026, switching into the year that it currently is, bye-bye 2025, it is now 2026. As you who've been listening know, there are some medical concerns that I have an amazing team for who are looking out for me, and it's going to mean that this first quarter, January through March, there's just going to be a lot less activity, especially on social media from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lessen the posts that I make. I'm going to lessen the videos that get put out. I have a bit of a back catalog that I hope to edit and get out there, but there's going to be a little less access that you have for me, as my priority needs to be being well.
Yes.
And healing.
Yes.
So, yeah. If that isn't what you wanted to hear, I'm sorry.
Except
it is unfortunately the reality. Like, I can't do anything about it.
Right.
And you wouldn't like me when I'm sick. Like the Hulk, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Like, you wouldn't like me when I'm sick. If you think I have no filter, you are wrong. I have a filter. And
when Jace is sick, the filter is not there.
I have zero, and I'm not as kind of a person. I'm not as thoughtful of a person. I am less coherent of a person. So it's better for us all that I listen to my doctors and do as they say.
Yes.
So having said that, we're going to do some secret episodes of the podcast that get released. Now, some of these were like test episodes that we did. Some have video, some don't. So if you're used to watching this on YouTube, you might not get that every so often, because we had these episodes that we recorded and I now feel like I want to share with y'all. There are going to be maybe a few more book club episodes because I have some amazing friends and people around me who have been chomping at the bit to do book clubs. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I won't rant. We'll just read a book together.
Yeah.
But not because I don't want to talk to you about my feelings and not because there won't be book stuff to talk about. I'm sure there will be. It is the way it is. But because I have this outpouring of support from people who want to do this thing with me, I'm going to take them up on this offer.
Absolutely.
And let the format be a little bit different this time. When we get into quarter two, April, May, and June, hopefully we figured out I'm fully healed and I'm ready to take on some new stuff. And we've got some things in the works, but it will again depend on how I'm healing.
Yes. Yes.
That is, again, if things take a turn, because it's bodies. Bodies are how you never know. Seffi is like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I know that. Then we'll have to make adjustments. And I have the amazing Seffi and I have the incredible Michael specifically for this podcast format that are here for me and we'll do our best to keep this going. Mm-hmm. For 2026, I think I'm going to bring back forearms. I miss them.
Yes.
I miss them.
That makes me happy.
Which I know. I released like the last one I did for 2024. And I think we're going to bring them back, which would be great.
Yes.
That might be another thing that I can do now because I've read all my books for 2025. So hopefully I can go through all my notes and be like, where are all the forearms?
Yes.
And destroy Seffi. I just finished a book. And like, quite honestly, it's an Omegaverse, like a pack thing. And like, there's one person and like, the descriptions of forearms are not egregious, but like every time she sees him, she mentions forearms and she mentions forearms to him. And so then he's like, yeah, baby, I'm rolling up my sleeve so you see my forearms. So it's just like constant, like Gray, oh my God, you and your forearms.
Yes. Love it.
It's not crazy. It's not like, oh, the sinewy forearms where the veins protruded and I just wanted to lick them deep into it's not a ton of descriptors, but it's mentioned so many times that I have to. Like, I can't not mention this book because like truly every time it's the first thing we know about him. He's hot and his sleeves are rolled up. So I think I'm going to bring it back forearms.
Yes.
I'm going to really look to do a few more interviews, I think.
Okay.
Then other things. You know what, Michael, you can cut that part too if you want. But I want to branch out. I want to see like what does 2026 have for the bookish space and Jace Reads Romance, because there have been a lot of shifts. We've had the post-COVID boom of stuff and now the boundaries that people are setting. I am obsessed with it. I am obsessed with it. And I think that 2026 is going to look very different.
I would agree.
Especially in-person things than 2024 or 2025 did. And my hope is that 2026 is also when people grow the fuck up on the internet. I can't promise that one because it's the internet.
I was just going to say, I would not hold your breath over that one.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm hoping that 2026 is the year that we get more good than like spiral, you know, that more of us are able to take a breath and think critically than spiral. And as we end this episode, I just want to say, I hope y'all's 2026 is incredible. Keep coming around because even though things are going to look a little bit different, at our hearts, we are still Jace Reads Romance, a place to empower women, cis and trans, about sex and sexuality through the reading of romance novels. And that is not going to change no matter what the format looks like. That is our mission. That is at our core. And I want to give like just a big shout out to Seffi and Michael, who have been incredible through all of this. And they are going to potentially play a bigger part as I rope them into things in 2026. Suck it.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. So until next time, keep on keeping on. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Bye.
Bye.
Jace Reads Romance is a 3 Paws Productions podcast. Produced by Seffi, edited by Michael Achenbach. Our theme song is written and performed by Diana Weishauer. For show notes and more, head to www.jacereadsromance.com. That's JAYCE Reads Romance. Follow us on socials at Jace Reads Romance everywhere. For more exclusive content, visit us on Substack, where you'll find extended episodes, bonus episodes, and more. Have a question, story, or book recommendation you know I'll love? Email Jace at jacereadsromance.com or call and leave a voicemail at 661-JACE-RR. That's 661-529-2377. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. And as always, this is Jace, holding space for you.